practical growth framework, for business owners. Your goal is not merely to create job for yourself, but to be able to establish like an oak tree that many can take refuge under you. I know you have a lot of questions. So what I want you to know is I want you to learn how to do it. And once you know how to do it by yourself, you must be able to document the process. Once you can document the process, then it's possible for you to delegate it, then manage it, systematize it, and then finally you can grow it, you can scale it. That's what we want. I will be grateful to God if I can have at least 10 people from this room who can scale their business and make it bigger than their immediate family. So if you start thinking that way, ideas will come to you. The only reason those ideas are not there is because you never thought you can scale it beyond just meeting your immediate needs. If it's just meeting your immediate needs, you're not better than anyone that is just working for someone 9 to 5. We want to scale. So remember, this is just a recap for Monday. You're doing the business. You learn everything about the business. Know it to minutest details. You will not be able to grow it if you don't know it. Once you know it, then you're ready to scale it. And then you can document the process. Today is another day. I've done a bit of recap. And welcome to day 2 of Bridge for Her. Today, I promise you I'm going to talk about how to attract and retain customers. If you still have questions about day 1, no problem. You can come and join us tomorrow at a live session. Tomorrow, we're going to have someone talk about technology, another one talking about sales, another person talking about bookkeeping and tax process. So the tax man is coming for you. And then there will be a live testimonial about how to remain resilient in the midst of hard times. We would sit together on a round table, have lunch together. You can come. The address to come to is number 25 McQueen off about Macaulay, Sabuyaba, Lagos. Let's go on straight to the class for today. What am I focusing on? I'm talking about how to attract and retain customers. Remember, you're in class, you may need to take a pen and paper and write. And then share the link that's been sent to you on YouTube so that more people can also join. Customer attraction training module. This is day 2 of Bridge for Her. Now, don't wait for customers. What should you do? Build a system that consistently puts your business in front of the right people. That's what I want to teach you today. How to build a system that consistently puts your business in front of the right people and gives them a reason to trust you and makes it easy for them to buy. So what are the processes we want to go through? 1, to build a system. 2, to make that system in front of the right people so that the decision, the choice to buy from you becomes easier for them. Because ultimately, when you have something valuable and you're selling, you want people to be able to see it, interact with it, and make a decision to transact with you. So that is what we want to achieve. How to attract and retain customers. The first question I'm going to ask you is this. Can you describe your customer? If you're in the Bridge class, I want you to write that down. How can you describe your customer? That means you need to know exactly who your customer is before you can describe that customer. So what needs do they have? What products? What services that your customers have? Who are these customers? I'm trying to help you to be able to put pen to paper and be able to describe your customer. Now, the next thing I want to ask you is, where do your customers live? I'll give you examples as I go on. Where do they live? Then, or where do they work? What problems are they trying to solve? What do I mean by that? I used to have problem with food. And then as we grew older, there's a problem of metabolism. Because you're eating even the right food and you're not losing the weight, that's a problem. You go to the doctor for your comprehensive medical check and they say, oh, you need to lose 5 kg, you need to lose 10 kg. You've cut down the calories, but the weight is not coming down. That becomes a problem. If you're a food vendor, what problem is that potential customer trying to solve? Maybe weight, maybe health. Then you now say to yourself, I only sell food. How do I come into this position? You may be able to offer the person some kind of nutrients that will be calorie light and then can support what the desire of the person is. If you're a nutritionist, that may be an opportunity for you to say, oh, I know what you need to do. But I don't want to jump ahead of myself. I'm still trying to say the first thing is you cannot attract a customer or a client that you do not know. So who is your customer? What work do they do? Where do they live? Okay, you need to profile them. And then what problem are they, that's your customer, trying to solve? Some are trying to solve maybe hair problem. They have very sensitive scalp like me. And so making the hair into 1 million braids is a no-no. So they need issues like turbans, they need things like wigs, they need probably to have a low cut. That's a problem they're trying to solve for their beauty expression. Another thing is this: what do they care about? The customer that you are trying to profile, what is important to them? Some is price, some is convenience, some is quality service, some is speed, some is trust. You need to be able to do this. If I'm too fast, put it in the chat room. I will slow down a little bit. I said, you cannot attract every customer with the same message because every customer is at a different stage of awareness and trust. You cannot attract every customer with the same message. A customer that is particular about price is different from a customer that is particular about speed. Then the one that is particular about trust. So it's a different strategy you're going to use for each one of them. Remember, we started by Monday by saying that we want to make sure we scale our business. If you don't want your business to grow above that 100 million, please, you're not my candidate. I want people who are saying to themselves, I want my business to be in the next X number of months, X number of years to be operating over 100 million. Today, I'm talking to micro businesses. By next time, I'm hopeful that you have become a small business. Then you would have moved from a small business to a mega business. And that is going to be possible as we continue this. There are several things I want to share with you in a bit to help you to profile your customer very well. Number one, the first thing you need to know is this. Your customer can be broken down into 7. The first one is a stranger. The first person is a stranger. What does that mean? Who are the strangers? They don't know your business. And they may not even realize they have a problem you can solve. So if one of the people that you're trying to reach is a stranger to your business, or even a stranger to their need, what do you need to do? Don't worry, just write those headings down. You will be able to understand as I break it down. How do you attract a stranger to become a potential customer? One, they need attention and they need awareness. So how to win them, I will explain. Let me give you an example. A man, a widower, the man that lost his wife, escorted his new wife, he now remarried after a few years, escorted his new wife to the salon. I mean, they told him you have to woo her just like the same way you wooed your, former wife and all that. The man is in his late 50s. When he married his wife, manicure, pedicure, and all that were not really the in thing then. But this young lady, this beautiful young lady that he married, wanted them to be everywhere together. So he took his wife to the salon and then dropped her off, went back, went to a few places and came back, and the wife was still on. Now, the man sat quietly. They gave him a bottle of drink, and he was reading the newspapers. Then I now nudged the salon owner. I said, that's a man there. Don't you have anything that he can do here whilst he's waiting for his wife? I said, what's it? Manicure, pedicure? Yeah, but he didn't ask. I said, no. He may not know that there's a service like that existed. I said, okay, you know what? Let's see what we can do. So I spoke to the man and I said, have you ever thought of doing something with your legs? And he said, no, I don't do those female things. I said, no, you are between 55 and 60. I said, yes. I said, okay. That means you are already getting to that age where we pay special attention to our health. He said, of course I do. Said, do you know that your foot brings in all the things that can detox you if you are able to submit your legs into hot water as far as you can bear it for about 10, 20 minutes? And when you do that, if you add apple cider vinegar, you put Epsom salt, you slice some ginger, it's going to take out all the toxins from your liver. I said, really? That is a stranger. Totally strange to the procedure of pedicure. And by giving small education, He was interested. And I said, yeah, you may think it costs so much, but what it takes out of your system is like, taking out God. Really, taking out stuff from your God that you don't really need there. He was interested. He was ready. And I said, do you want to give it a trial? He said, if you're going to give it a trial today, we can give you some discount just because you're not aware. I'm trying to teach you how to make a stranger become a client. What about if you're selling specialized food? Maybe you are like, I'm not adventurous about it. So if someone like me comes to a restaurant, I may be eating the same thing every day. But if you study that this person is not adventurous, or you can ask, what are the things you normally like to eat? By the time I tell you 1, 2, 3 things, you can bring out a menu that can combine those 3 things that I've mentioned and be able to say, yes, you like vegetable, but you don't like seafood. So if I remove the periwinkle and I do not put prawn, but I replace that with shaki and goat meat, I may be able to give you something, mixing your preference with what is nutritious. What you're doing is, when a stranger comes to you, you are looking at what they don't know and you want to capitalize on it to take them from where they are to where you want to go to. So how do you win a stranger? There are a few things you need to make. You need to educate them. So you need to know who the stranger is and now marry who they are with what you have to offer. I'm giving you 2 or 3 examples. You need to have stories. Stories of people like them who were strangers a year ago, 2 years ago, that now are now regular customers, and be able to share with those strangers the benefits from those other people. You have to have interesting facts about their situation. You need to be able to say to them, you work in the bank, you leave home at 6, you have to get there before 8 o'clock, and you don't get back home at 8 o'clock. That's an interesting fact. Now, what does that do to the solution to their peculiar need? That is how to deal with a stranger. Another one is problem-focused marketing. Maybe you're someone that you're an educational consultant, you help parents with their children's homework. Say, no, I'm not an ordinary lesson teacher. I am a parent myself. And right now, I'm starting a homework club, and this is what I intend to achieve. We want to ensure that your children are supervised even when the lesson teacher is there. You are solving their problem, and then attention-grabbing offer. When you meet a stranger, you have introduced the business successfully, then you want to give them an offer they can't resist. And usually those offers, I'll teach you that, maybe if you're in the physical class tomorrow, there must be offers that are fast. Like if you miss it, you miss out. So for instance, let me give you this as a caterer. A caterer doesn't say, buy my catering package. What does it say? Are you planning a wedding? Here are 5 catering mistakes that can ruin your guest's experience. Don't forget the person planning a wedding has probably not done a wedding before. Most people planning weddings, they are doing their first wedding. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're saying there are 5 mistakes that people make and it spoils the experience, all potential wedding people will listen to that because they don't want their wedding experience to be truncated by those 5 mistakes. So that is how you turn a stranger into a customer. That's number 1. I said 7 things I have to be fast because of time. Number 2, a curious customer. A curious customer comes with like a notion of, I don't know, can you help me? So what are you going to do? They recognize a problem or desire, but haven't decided what solution they want. Okay? So what that kind of customer needs is education. Why am I teaching you this? It's important for you to know that you don't just grab people anyhow. And right now that we have decided that we want to make our business times 10, we need to pay attention to every details and see how we can get more people. The more people we get, the more money they pay us, and the more we can scale our business up. So when the curious customer comes to you, how do you win them? You need to be able to explain the problem. Okay? Oh, you make, I like makeup, but I don't like the fact that I'm allergic to most of the products. Do you have allergy tests? Do you know how to block their nose when you're spraying the primer or the setting spray? You need to be able to tell them, yes, you're curious about this, but I can help you. Teach them what causes the problem and how you can provide solution to it. Then show the possible solutions. Let them see it and then answer their questions. If you're good, remember the first thing I said to you first, you must be knowledgeable about your business. You can't, because the competition is steep. So you can't just be doing anyhow and expect to scale up. You need to be knowledgeable. So a fitness coach could explain, for instance, why you are exercising consistently but still not losing weight. What do I mean by that? Oh, you've read about the 10,000 steps, you've done that, but you are already in perimenopause or menopause. Even though you're doing the 10,000 steps, you're eating healthy, you may not lose the weight because your metabolism has reduced. You need to now know what are the hormones that you do not produce naturally anymore, and what can you do to tweak your metabolism to receive the right alert and to start burning. So you don't just say, oh, come to our fitness center, come and register. That's why they come, they register, and then after 1 month, they stop going. But if you're able to use their curiosity to your advantage, you can say the goal is not to immediately get them, it is to become a person that they can trust. Because one time I tell them, I understand what you're talking about. I know you've been trying to lose weight and it's not working. There's no magic to this, but there's something we can do. And if I work together with you, let's see what happens in 90 days. Once they see your sincerity, the curious customer will stay with you. That's number 2. The third one is the shopper. The third one is the shopper. Who is the shopper? They know they need a solution and are now comparing businesses. What will stand you out when you're dealing with a shopper is differentiation. They have 10 different tailors they can go to. So what makes you different from the other tailor? Okay? Why should they, patronize you? So how do you win a shopper? One, you have to explain your unique advantage. What is the most peculiar problem with tailors? Promise and fail, disappointment. They will tell you it will be ready in 2 weeks, it will not be ready. When you see a shopper, tell them, when do you need this product? Say, everybody say, I need like this, so I can't promise you that. If you give me 3 weeks, I will deliver. You know that all you need is 10 days. Before the end of the second week, you deliver, bam. You have won the shopper for life. It's not going anywhere. Okay? Then compare your process. Also tell them when the shopper comes to you and say, oh, they can make a buba or skirt and blouse for 5,000. Tell them, yes, that is why one hand will be longer than the other one. So in our own process, we don't just make your clothes. We actually cut a pattern for you, so that even if you're losing weight or reducing weight, we just adjust your pattern. We don't have to go over the process. By the time you're explaining the difference in your process and their process, when your price comes slightly higher, you don't have a problem with that. Then demonstrate your expertise. Show them when you're measuring them, that, if you are this shape of a woman, they have the V shape, they have the apple shape, you understand? They have the rectangular shape. This is what you need to do. If you are, like a straight shape, they have to go from under your bust or make your clothes A-line so that it hides your stomach and it gives you a form of shape. By the time you're saying that to a customer, I say, okay, I understand. But if a customer comes to you and say, make this style for me, and the style they're saying you should make is like what Agbani Darego wore, and the person is full option, limited edition like me, it will become a case of what I ordered versus what I got. But you need to be able to talk to the shopper as an expert. Maybe the reason as she's been shopping is because she's been going from pillar to post, looking for someone to make her fit into what she doesn't have the capacity for. You, as a client, as the owner of the business, should be able to say something to them that will make them calm down and know that you're saying the fact. Then you can also break down your methodology. This is a process we go through. For the shopper, they already have made up their mind. They want to procure that thing, but they are not just sure who they want to buy from. And what you're trying to do is to make sure that they come to buy from you and then make them a specific offer. You know what? I charge 20,000 for this product. But if you let me do this with you, and you know that your cost of production and all that is maybe 10,000. At 10,000, you have covered your costs. Okay? So the 10,000 remaining will be your margin and your profits. You can decide for the shopper. Let me do this for you. It's 20,000. Pay only 10,000. If you are satisfied with the product, pay the balance. You already know that if he doesn't pay the balance, it's not at a loss to you. You understand what I'm saying? But you will make sure you do it so well that the person will give you the 20,000 and a tip after. We want to get to a point where people will buy from us and they will still do what? Tip us. So if, for instance, you're selling furniture, you don't say, we sell quality furniture. What do you say? You say something like, we design custom-made furniture for small apartments. Why? Because the person has told you, the size of my sitting room is small. In fact, it's a studio apartment. That's my candidate. You need furniture. You just moved the house. Just moved house. So what do you need? I'll do for you, custom made. I'll be able to make the sofa that will be able to work for you, or something that is a recliner that you can both slouch on it and you can use it for something, or I'll put a footstool. That's because you already know this shopper needs furniture but has hesitation. So by the time you say that, so every piece is built to maximize your available space. Or if the person comes, is very rich, you cannot say the same thing to that person and has very, very luxury space. Say, you are the one. We make furniture for kings. Masterclass. And such people would also like exclusivity. So every furniture is tailor-made. We also allow you to choose your fabric and you can combine. So what you see in your house is not something you see everywhere. Rich people like exclusivity. They like limited offers. So give it to them. I'm talking about the shopper, okay? Now, number 4, the skeptic. I'm talking about 7. Don't mind that I'm a bit fast because we have just about 45 minutes for this. Let's go to number 4. The skeptic is, I'm talking about how to attract and retain customers. Can I trust you? That's what the skeptic is saying. The customer may actually want your product, but doesn't believe your claims yet. So what do? You need proof. So how do you win the skeptic? There's a quick way to do that. 1, right now, from this time, you need to start documenting your testimonials. Are you a nail technician? Someone came to you. I have this cut on 2 of my nails. And as my nails begin to grow, that slash will just come in. You should have testimonials and say, oh, see, if you have this, it's nature. There's nothing you can do about it. But we can keep your nail at this height, and then you will not be able to have that kind of cut anymore. That's testimonial. And you can say, oh, 3 of my clients. You don't need to show the face of your clients. You can have pictures of your client. That means you're anticipating growth. That this kind of occurrence, this kind of problem can be in other people. So you use their testimonial to move on. Then you have case studies. Case studies of things around this kind of, I'm talking about the skeptic. They will come. First of all, I said you must understand who are your potential customers and how you can deal with them. We've dealt with a stranger, okay? We've dealt with a shopper. Now we're dealing with a skeptic. Then you must also show your before and after result. Someone told me all the way from the UK back to Nigeria, say, do you want to grow your hair? I know a product because showed me the picture. This person's hair was like this. This is what it is like. You need to have that in your archive also. Even for you as a tailor, you need to be able to say, this person is a plus size, but see how we made her dress. You won't even know that she's a size 20. She looks 14, right? That's what we can do here. Have the pictures for before and after. You have reviews, demonstrations, guarantees. This is what you do to the skeptic. I know a lot of times when I want to buy softwares and apps, they'll tell you first month free. But when you're doing the first month free, do you know that they make sure that you put all the details of your card? Because they know that after the first month, you would probably even not remember to remove your details, and then they start charging you. How can you bring that system? Tell them it's first month free. But how do you ensure that they already are signed up so that after that first month, you can retain them? Okay, then social proofs. These are all the things you can do to the skeptic to ensure that you attract them. I'm teaching you today how to attract customers to your business. Okay, so for the skeptics, the question is not, is this product good? It is, will this actually work for someone like me? So then you know your product is good. They probably know that too. But what they're saying is, will this product work for me? For me, for instance, my scalp is very tender. So I'm always afraid for someone to touch my hair. So if I go to the salon, you want to say to me, I know your scalp is tender, but do you know that if I give you this conditioning, after 5 minutes, you will be able to touch your hair. And you can demonstrate that, and with just a portion. And if that works, I'll be coming to you because I'll pay any price to ensure that I'm able to do my hair and the hair does not pay me. Okay, so let's go on quickly. So what the skeptic wants is proof. What do we want? Proof. And in every business, like if I go to a restaurant, I like to go to a la carte because they can make food to my specification. I'm one Yoruba girl that doesn't eat pepper. So if you can make my food and not have pepper in it, you will have me as a repeated customer. If you can cook my vegetable and it's only steamed for 2 minutes, I will come back to you again. If I can be sure that you don't put so much, what do you call it? Seafood. I'm not a seafood freak. I don't like seafood. In fact, the smell of it can be irritating. So if you can make my food and all those things are not there, I'll be your repeated customer. So I come to a restaurant, the first thing I do is, what do you have? What's in it? Does it have pepper? I'm asking all those questions. So what I want to find out is, can you meet my need? Very, very important. Let's quickly go to the next profile of the next customer that is your potential, the hesitant buyer. The hesitant buyer. What I say is, should I buy? Should I not? They are the people that you can quickly bring into your net. How can you do that? They are convinced that your product is good. They are convinced that your hair product is good, that you can sew the clothes, that you can make their nails better, that your makeup, for instance, some people like very simple makeup, like I do. Some like loud in Lagos. So if everything on your Instagram page is the loud, you're posting only the wedding pictures, you're forgotten that there's some people that just want to keep it simple. Then they want to buy, but they're a bit hesitant. What should you do? What are the common objections? They come in form of price. They say it's too expensive. Some of them say, let me think about it. Others like, I need to ask my husband, I need to ask my wife, I need to ask my family, what you think? Oh, I'll come back later. I'm not sure yet. If that's the case, what you need to do is you need to show them that the risk is small and they can come in. Reduce the risk. Give them a reason to act. How do you do that? 1, payment plan. If your product is 1 million, for instance, tell them to pay 100,000. To somebody who has already made up their mind, you're already looking at the class of person. Okay, 100,000. Okay, I'll do that. Sometimes ago, we went furniture shopping and come and see how these people were trying to ensure, because at that point, we are the hesitant buyer. We are ready to buy, but we're not sure. Our plan was to go to about 5 shops, but we ended up buying in the first shop because they were able to, 1, give us, like, I said, we're not ready to pick it now. We can come back. We're still trying to do up the place. We say, no. Even if you pay 10%, you can come back. Of course, if you pay 10%, you're not going back to pay the balance. Paying the deposit, they already caught us. You can do that to a potential client because that is a buyer who is ready to buy. For you to come into a furniture shop, you're ready to buy, but you're still hesitant. And don't forget that on that street, there are about 4 or 5 furniture shops. So you need to know how to get them. So a payment plan, guarantees, bonuses. But there's one thing that is very good, your FAQs. What are FAQs? Frequently asked questions. How does that work for you in a business? Remember the profile of your business, of your potential client. Now, if you break it down into these 7 things I'm sharing, make sure that you have your FAQs covering all the 7 people. The ones that are skeptics, the ones that are hesitant, the ones that are strangers. What are the likely questions in their heart? Have those FAQs. And then when these people come around you, throw it at them in a very, very pleasant, nice way. When they go over it, they will see something that is answering the quest in their heart. And then you can now go on to a secondary conversation. And then also limited time offer. Okay? I see a lot of furniture shops. One said, if you buy over 10 million, we'll give you a 55-inch television. If you buy from over 10 million to 40 million, we'll give you I think 65-inch or 75-inch television. And then some will say that we'll give you something. Some are giving 10% reduction, 25%, 20%. Let me tell you, whatever percentage anyone is giving you on their business, they have already made their profit. Don't be deceived. If you buy something that is sold for 5 million, you bought it for 2.5 million, they are not selling it as a loss. You didn't gain 2.5 million. You spent 2.5 million. When people bring in products or to sell or services, they already put in the premium, how much they want it sold for. For instance, I want to buy a weave-on and it's going to cost 850,000. Okay? And if I sell 20 of it, I would have made my money on the 50. So once they sell 20, so as not to tie down their capital for the remaining 30, they now say they are doing 20% promo. You cannot buy it. It used to be 850. Now it is 500. Now lie. By the time they sell to the 850 and to the 500 and even to the 300, they will add all the sales together and they will do what they do call cost averaging. So once you bring your products and you already know that you're going to sell this at a premium for 850 and you sold 25 for 850, the remaining 25, don't let it stay in your warehouse. Then do the reduction. And then they will say, oh, my friend bought it at 850. Now you're selling at 500. They will come and clear it. So when you have the limited time offer, a lot of people rush into it and then you attract customers. And once they come in, they're selling them another one. Do you know that if you go into a good shop to buy one product, as you're buying it, they begin to sell other things to you, okay? Like for instance, I love shoes and I only wear platform block heels ultra high. So my heels are at least 6 inches and they are platform because of my age to give me comfort. So when you go to a shop to buy one pair of shoes, a good seller will begin to show me different shoes that look like the shoe I'm buying. Do you know that even if you're shopping online, the moment you start shopping and you start clicking, after a few seconds or minutes, the algorithm tells the back end that this is what this person is shopping for. And they will now say, based on your interests, they start showing you the kind of thing that you're clicking on. We need to be able to do that as business owners too. Okay, so once you see the hesitant buyer who wants to buy one or is not sure, is just toying around, bombard the person with similar products that can bring their attraction. I talked about the FAQs, I talked about the limited time offer, the easy purchasing process. Now I see a lot of people online, they say, oh, payment on delivery, because there are scammers online, and these scammers, if you're not in the seller market, okay, you may need to do payment on delivery. So what do you need to do? You team up with the dispatch people who are going to deliver on your behalf, and if the person likes it, and then they pay to your account. But there is another process to doing that because scammers can also come in through that. What I'm saying is, once you recognize that this person wants to buy, but it's just hesitant, you need to know how to quickly latch it on that and convert it. I'm teaching today on how to attract customers and retain them. Now, the next one is the buyer. They are ready to buy. If someone goes to Lagos Island to go and shop for shoes, the person wants to buy shoes because Lagos Island is not for the faint-hearted. Or you go to mile 12 to go and buy pepper. No. So if someone is shopping and has clicked on your page once or twice, that is a buyer. The person is ready. So don't keep selling to them. Make buying incredibly easy for the buyer. So what do they need? They need a clear offer. When someone calls you, for those of you that you put, say, slide into a DM or call on WhatsApp, when someone moves from your Instagram page and calls you, the person is a buyer. What do you need to do? Clear offer, clear price, clear next step. Don't hesitate. Some call to just toy with you, but if they are not one of those, you need to quickly convert that call into something. So what you need to do is, oh, thank you for contacting us. Choose a package, make a deposit of 50,000 or 100,000, depending on what you're selling, and then we will contact you, or we will give you one of our representatives who speak to you. It is important for you to do this. And you can also automate it. AI can help you. That once someone contacts your page, there is an automated answer that tells them, thank you for contacting us. If you're choosing an offer, press 1. And when they do that, the reply comes to them, which one of the products you're taking And then make it very simple. Don't let it be like they're doing jam. We don't want to do jam. The next one and the last one is the champion. Who stand up for the champion? The champion is someone that says, I love this. I love what you have done. Who else needs it? The ultimate for every business is to raise as many champions as possible. Who are the champions? This is your existing happy customer. But one thing that pains me with micro business owners is they don't know how to celebrate champions. In fact, they extort champions. People that have come to you that are repeated customers, when they come, you now look for how to, summer them. There's a young man that, sews for me and does it very well, very good, and then started taking advantage of me, because he thinks, this person has money, so, start disappointing, start mixing up designs, not paying attention. No. When you find the champion in your business, they are the people you're supposed to make sure you do any and everything to ensure that you don't disappoint them. They are the ones that will spread the good news about your business to thousands and thousands of customers. A young lady said to me, well, this person, I do makeup for this person. I do makeup for this person. I do makeup. So mention like 3 people. I can't even remember. I said, thank you. I said, thank you today. Why? Because she's so courteous. She's so pleasant. People say to me, I don't want loud makeup. I said, just like me. I know someone that can do that. And then they'll call her. And they are never disappointed. So once you make champions, you want to make sure that that champion make other champions for you. So what do? Now, what do you not do with your champions? Don't stop marketing them. What did I say? Don't stop marketing them. Even, let's say, for instance, they make clothes with you. They make like 10, 20 per time, whether they are abroad or they are here. A month after you have delivered, they are not asking for any clothes to be made. Send them a text. I just thought about you today. I just want to say God bless you or something. Chat. Seasonal. Those are your champions. You're trying to maintain your relationship with them. But you know what we do? We wait for them to call us again before we get in touch with them. Don't ever do that. Because we want to attract and retain customers. And the people that actually scale your business are the champions. Because one irate customer will tell 10 other people. But one pleased customer will tell another person, that person will be pleased too, and that will tell another person, and that will scale your business. So what you want to do with champions is you want to turn them into repeat buyers. Write that down. You want to turn your champions into what? Repeat buyers. You want to turn them to subscribers. Okay, there's a particular store I shop from. I like shoes, like I said. And I found out that, they will ask you if you want to subscribe to them. And I did subscribe. And so what do? They now tell you, come and join their shoe club. So when you join them, they will be showing you, sending you on a monthly basis, weekly basis, like a mini newsletter, showing you latest designs. I don't know how to do it. They will not make you to click, and it takes you to the style that you're interested in, and then you keep showing it. And so if you love hair, if you love shoes, if you love, jewelry, and they have made you a subscriber, maybe to their newsletter, and then they will also have loyalty, loyalty rewards that, because you're subscribed to them, because you're in their club, you get 10% after every, let's say every 500,000 naira, 500,000 naira that you spend, you get this. So they're getting you to do more. You just want to spend 100,000. But if you spend 500,000, then you're going to get additional 20% on the next thing. That is how to get your champions to be retained. Then you also say to them, we're doing a loyalty program. Do you know that if you introduce 10 people or 2 people or 3 people to us, we will give you a discount on your next purchase? Oh, really? So they will now become your mouthpiece to their family and friend to be able to attract more people to your business. Big businesses are doing it. Who told you it's the exclusive of those big businesses? Small businesses can start to do that now. You can also make them brand ambassadors. Why do the big conglomerates go and make celebrities brand ambassadors? You make your champions brand ambassadors. Put a tag of you on them. I don't know what you're selling. put, a ribbon, a face cap, a wristband of yours on them and tell them to wear it so that when people see it, they can ask questions. Then how do you win them again and again? Excellent delivery. Your champions, you can put them in your loyalty, cycle, and then you make sure either free delivery or excellent delivery, make sure that they are not disappointed. Then I told you about continuous follow-up, repeated, calls. Some like calls, some like SMS, some like emails. Send it to them. Just checking on you. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful season. Say something. Then appreciation. Like if you buy up to this, I know we do that at the end of the year. Don't limit it to the end of the year. Find out their birthdays. Find out their anniversary. Something that they do. It depends also on the age. Remember the profile of your clients. In September, if they are people that have children in primary school, in secondary school, in September, send a little prayer for their children at school, understand? When the weather change, send something that is relevant to the demography of the client. That is how to attract and retain customers. We're talking about the champions now. What about cross-selling or upselling? Okay, they already buy this thing, but they may likely need this. They like shoes. What about things they use, leather cleaner, or maybe shoe horns or something that can help protect shoes. So you are cross-selling now from one thing that they love to another. Then referral programs, I talked about that. And then you can now do one thing, ask them for testimonials. When they give testimonials, ask if you can use their testimonials, depending on the caliber of the person. If, for instance, I get someone to come and talk about what I do very well, and that person has credibility in the society, I'm leveraging on that person's credibility. And a lot of God-fearing good people will want other people to succeed in their business, and they would not mind to testify about what you're doing to them. So what you want to do is, you don't just want to turn a stranger into a buyer. What do you want to do? You want to turn a stranger into a customer, and then a customer into a repeat customer, and then a repeat customer into an advocate. So what do you want to do? That's the story I've been trying to tell you for the past 40 minutes, that you want to turn every stranger to meet into a customer. And then you want to turn that customer into a repeat customer, and that repeat customer into an advocate for your business. There's a framework that I call the spectrum. If you're in class tomorrow, I will share that with you. Now, someone is asking me who can be in class tomorrow. If you're a woman, I know right now there are men and women online. I don't mind. Tomorrow you have to be a woman. You have to arrive before 9 because the people that are all registered will be there by 9. And it's at number 25 McQueen Street, Sabo, Alagomeji, Yaba. Class will start immediately at 9, so you need to be there before 9. Now, I want you to take a sheet of paper wherever you are now, and I want you to do this. If you're watching online, yeah, fine for you, you can do this. I'm going to ask you these 7 questions, and you need to be able to answer me before I open up for us to do question and answer. Who are the strangers who could eventually become your customer? Write it down. What I normally do when I'm doing is let people write up to 10, but because I can't wait for you to think, put that question down. Who are the strangers that can eventually become my customers? Write it. Who are the strangers? Now, plan to write at least 10. Number 2, these strangers, what problems do they have for your business? I spoke about someone you're in restaurant business. You want to do fine dining, bespoke food. When they come in, they buy. That's average would be from like 20,000. Now, you have a lot of office complex around you. It may not be possible for people who work in 9 to 5 to come into your restaurant and eat 20,000. Is it possible for you to have another stream where you have a caterer dedicated to making food that can cater to people working 9 to 5? If you look at those people around you, they may not be able to afford more than maybe 2,000 to 3,000, because if they leave at their home at 6 and go back at 10, they definitely need probably breakfast and lunch. What if you do something? There was a time I saw, there are big companies, they started making water. There's a particular brand, I don't want to mention their name because they didn't pay me to advertise them. They make food. But see, to make food, they need to have very sterilized process. And water is one of the things they use to make their food. The next thing, they started selling water. There's another one. They were selling drinks, fizzy drink. The next thing, they started selling water. So if big companies are looking at, I already have a kitchen, I already have chefs, I already have all this. What about if I start making food and just start packaging it for people that are working and then find a delivery process to sell to them? It doesn't stop anything from your fine dining of 25,000 per plate. You can still do your 2,000, 3,000, and it can meet their need. And you would just be attracting the stranger. So the first question, who are the strangers? Who would eventually become my customer? Number two, what problems do they have? Number three, what questions do they ask before buying? What questions do they ask before buying? You are a nail technician. You want someone to be able to, a lot of people now, they are not doing the one that I call it cement or the gel, or maybe they are reacting, maybe they just do stick up. So if those are the strangers, how do you convert them to people that you can use, and what do you need to tell them? I want you to write it down. It's very, very important. What might they choose? What might they choose from my competitor instead? You must know who is your competitor in your industry. Okay, the same money that you want to get from this customer can go to A or B. What would you need to do to make it come to you? I want you to write it down. Then what makes them distrust businesses like mine? What makes them distrust businesses like mine? For tailors, it's disappointment. For food, is about taste. For maybe hair people, is about fitting them. For makeup people, it's about not following the precision that the person wants. Some people want it loud, some people want it mild. Some it may be allergy, some it may be time of delivery. What are the likely problems? I want you to write it down. What stops them from buying today? What is likely to stop them from buying today? I'll tell you why you need to do this exercise. If you can answer these questions, it's going to help you to know how to scale the hurdle and be able to present to them what they need to do. And then the last is, how can I turn a happy customer into a repeat buyer and into a referrer? Someone that will help me to refer other people. What do I need to do? Write these 7 things, answer the questions, and then send it to us. I'm going to open the chat room now, and then you can send chats in, and let's see who is in the room. And then we have some other things that we can do, but this is not a very long meeting. We will likely continue this maybe for some more time to be able to help more people. And if there are topics you think you have problems you want me to talk about, I know when we send the questionnaire, most of the people are saying, how can they attract funding for their business? We're going to deal with that tomorrow. And if there are other questions you want to ask, I'm ready to answer your questions now. Go into the chat room if you are on in the Zoom room. And if you're on YouTube, you can put the questions in. They're going to send it to me, and I'll be more than willing to answer. You can also send the link of the YouTube to your friends and family so that they can learn more from this. Our idea at Whitefield Foundation is to eradicate poverty through education and empowerment, and we've been doing this for the past 23 years. It's important that you know. Someone said, please, can you repeat the questions? Oh my goodness. There are 7 questions. Let me see if I can. Listen very quickly. Who are the strangers who could eventually become my customers? I'm going to be fast. Who are the strangers who could eventually become my customers? What problems do they have? That's question number 2. Number 3, what questions do they ask before buying? I'm sorry that I'm rushing because of time. Number 4, why might they choose my competitor instead of me? What makes them distrust businesses like mine? What stops them from buying today? How can I turn a happy customer into a repeat buyer or a referrer? That will refer other people, can become an advocate or a champion for me, that they will keep coming back. Do you notice that some people, when they want something, just go here, just go to this shop? We're sure about their consistency. What do they need? And how can I turn all the people that I ever meet that come my pathway into that? You need to do everything to make sure that people don't walk out of your business unhappy. Because when they're unhappy, they wouldn't even know that Don't go to that person. Hey, don't go there. You don't know when they're going to say that. Let them leave with a smile. So that whenever someone says they want to do something in your line of business, you will be the first person that they will recommend. Okay, I hope I answered the 7, I gave you the 7 questions. I would like you to make the answers. Any more chats in the chat room? Yes. Okay, someone is asking, I did not register, can I join? If you are able to make it to the meeting before 9 o'clock tomorrow, number 25, McQueen, Samuel Lagumiji, the Capstone Resource Center is off about Macaulay. You need to be there before 9 because the people that are registered are going to be there at 9 and they will give them preference. But if you come earlier than them, you may be able to consider it, but you must be a woman. Don't be a man that Tyra will recognize you and will not let you in. Are there more questions? So, how can I attract more customers to my business? That's the highlight. That's what we talked about today. There are a few more things I want to, what we're going to look at tomorrow, I'll teach you how to get your first 10 customers from strangers, how to convert them. How can you convert them? I'll teach you about referrals. What can you do to be able to get people to refer your business? And then also partnership. Someone said, please, can someone that got all the questions? You know what? Can we have the questions typed into the chat room so that they can copy it? Is that something they can do? Let me see if I can send it to the chat room for you. I'm copying it now. I'm sending it. Let me see if that can help. I'm trying to make sure that we get it. The questions are easy. If I keep saying it, we won't be there today. So I want to put it in the chat room for you so that you can get it. Okay, someone's going to send it to you now, and then we can go on from there. Okay, I'll take just 2 more responses and then we'll go. Okay. Some of the highlights for tomorrow is the sales. Someone's going to be teaching on sales. Someone's going to be teaching on bookkeeping and tax. Someone's going to be teaching on technology. And then there'll be a short life experience on perseverance and resilience in the midst of hard times. You see, one thing is that businesses don't prepare for hard times, but hard and harsh times do come in. Look at the COVID, for instance. Pandemic comes in the span of 100 years. Nobody planned and prepared for it. Some businesses were permanently shut. But look at what the fintechs have done. In the hard times, they have started thinking. They changed the narrative of banking. Right now, I don't want to mention their names. These fintech banks open an account on the phone, transfer done in minutes. They are eliminating all the bank charges, and people are flocking to them. You can do the same. Don't think it's only for the people that are big businesses. Start from your small business and scale it up and make this big. You have those questions in the chat room now. You can do that. Okay? We're going to look at how you can get 10 new customers into your business tomorrow. Okay, Lai Yomi, say thank you so much. Thank you too. Now, what you're going to do to me today is this. All of you in the chat room, I want you to go to the YouTube link, Funmi Johnson, and share what I've shared today. I also want you to be my champions. Can we do that? Share what I'm sharing with you today to at least 20 business owners that you know. Let them also go and learn how they can attract people into their business. That's number 1. When you follow Funmi Johnson and subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you will get notification for other things like this. What do I want to do? I will try once every week. I will be putting business tips. I promise to do that once every week, maybe for the next 2 or 3 weeks, so that at least you also can learn how to move from where you are. Remember, at Whitefield Foundation, we're committed to eradicating poverty through education and empowerment. This is Bridge for her. We had Bridge for Teens about a few weeks back, and this one is just for businesses that are still doing a turnover of less than 100 million, with the hope that next time you would also be a facilitator for Bridge. Thank you for listening. and then see you in class tomorrow. Make sure you arrive on time. And if you, and like I said, go to my YouTube channel now, you that you're in the chat room, subscribe and share to at least 10 people. Have a great evening. See you in class.